Hey everybody, it's Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to show you that I've got a couple of things brewing here with Windows Server 2012. First of all, I've got two instances of Windows Server running. This is a data center version. Been downloaded from Microsoft. I just want to show you a couple of things before we get started. Now with the settings, when you do install this puppy, notice the requirements. For Windows Server 2012, maximum recommended memory, like 10 gigs of RAM. This is the system that I'm running on right now is 14 gigs. And I'll tell you, it's choking pretty bad. I'm lucky to get a recording process and be able to record with this virtual machine running. Now let me show you the virtual machine itself. Of course, what I just showed you was right here is the VMware Workstation 10, and this is a very powerful piece of software for virtualization. Prefer it over the VirtualBox, and there's a lot of reasons for that. You can just get stuff up and running really fast. One of the things that I forgot to show you, let me just see if I can do that, is this little feature here called clone. There's a clone somewhere in here. I guess maybe let me just try the, yeah, I guess if you power down the system, if you come under manage, I think there's a clone option in there. So you can clone these at will. So I have one base version, and then I have a clone version with my SQL Server I just installed, which was honestly no easy task to get installed. But whatever, let's talk about that. All right. So as I said, we've got this is basically a let me just show you the PC here, the properties of it. Yeah, here. Okay, so the properties, if I can remember where to go. Oh well. Yeah, right here. You can see that it is Windows Server 2012, almost 10 gigs of RAM allocated to it. And what else can I show you? Okay. So that's the base of it. I've got the Windows Server 2012 going. It was no easy task. Well, it wasn't that bad, but I'll just leave it. It wasn't fun. And what I've got here is I've got the really nice app, SQL Server Management Studio. This is where all the nitty-gritty of all your capability of running all your scripts in TSQL, let's say, all your tables, columns, all that stuff that gets set up here. I've got other videos. I've actually got some lessons, courses on that in my elite service. But it's very powerful. It's very enterprise level. Let me just show you the help here, just to show you something. Okay, you can see this is 2014 edition. Now, the powerful thing about this puppy is it's got something called OLTP in memory, and that's a very, very big feature in this version, and that enables me to actually run no different than NoSQL, like an in-memory database. It's only really for indexing, but it can be very powerful, make the system obviously a lot faster. So there's that. So this is the MS SQL Server Management Studio running, and I've got here also the engine tuning advisor, and at the same time ACAN, no different than you get in, let's say, SQL or MySQL, where I can basically add or turn on these different engines within a database system of the SQL Server. Now, also in here, this is a very basic install. Outside of Firefox, I've got the RDP remote desktop able to run. I just got to configure it. I've got obviously the SQL Server, all the SQL Server components and everything else. Hopefully you've seen my video on the Windows Server itself. It's very powerful. For instance, you can see all your servers in action in one dashboard. It's very powerful, pretty well easy to use. Different tools. Let me see here. The admin tools. It's a little different to getting used to. It's got the PowerShell, which is quite cool if you're into command line stuff like a Linux. But let me just hop back into my my VMware. Now the other powerful thing with this workstation is you could set up various VMs or virtual machines running at the same time. You can set up a little mini farm. So for instance, you can have a SQL Server, you can have a cluster failover as part of all these different installs, and I can just clone them as is. Not only that, I can set up a Team Foundation server for all my code. I can set up, I was looking at SharePoint, but I think that might be a little overkill for my content management. So I got all my, literally thousands of documents online, so I can do a massive search, spread that upon my internal, I guess call it internet work. In terms of security, what I'll be doing is I'll be running this through a Wi-Fi, but this network will not be available to the public, will not be talking to the outside world. Usually what will happen is I'm still trying to architect it where I want to find a secure process through a firewall, just have the database get loaded up with ticks while the system is running, and then from there be able to have all my analytics and all my other stuff running against this SQL Server repository. I've been talking to a few people where I was looking at Mongo as an option for internal memory database, just particularly for ticks. It appears that I've been forewarned as I add a lot more millions, let's say, it's going to slow and choke down. But the SQL Server should be able to handle it no problem. I've also did a posting late last week regarding Oracle to set up a similar kind of setup. But to be honest, I just more familiar with SQL Server, and this is definitely for me, the best way to go, because I know a lot of people want to chew you apart and whatever, but it's cool. So I'll be setting up a variety of a little farm equivalent of a cloud technology. I guess it's private, obviously, and that's how I'm going to keep it for security. But I'm pretty excited by actually getting it set up. Took a couple hours, but now that we're getting there, and especially as I said with that 2014 edition, not the 2012, but the 2014 edition. So hang tight. Hopefully some exciting stuff will be coming down the pipes later.